You by Sterling Automotive. We have William Lutz on the phone. Will, man, you there?
I'm here.
Welcome. Welcome. No, thanks for coming on.
Welcome.
Thanks for coming on. How's
There's a lot of Louisiana sports talk right now.
Really? I don't know what's going on.
What
Is there anything happening in Louisiana? I have no clue. What's happening?
Yeah, you're right.
You have some breaking news you wanna give us on the show, or
No, none at all.
none?
None at all.
Well, dude, tell me a little about this year. It was tough. I know you missed a year with injury, and I think we're kind of seeing in the postseason right now how important kickers are to a team, right? A good kicker can make a huge difference. I think we watched throughout the course of the year, there were some tight games that, maybe could have gone some other ways had we had our guy out there. But tell me a little bit about that. I know, recovering and rehabbing and stuff is kind of a mentally exhausting. So give me a little background on how the season was and what you had to do to get through it.
From your point that you just spoke on, watching the postseason has been exciting from a kicker standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome to see these guys perform, and it adds value. There's no doubt about that. But man, this year personally was tough. It's like you said, it's mentally exhausting. I went into the year with an injury, and it was kind of understood that it was only going to be a 6 to 8 week injury, and we were ready to. He's going to miss a couple games to get right back into it, and so basically the background is I had a sports hernia. Some people call it sports hernia.
The worst.
People call it core injury, right? And
yeah, tomato.
One of the deals where I went up, I had surgery. We thought everything was good, and I actually went up to get cleared for the Seattle Seahawks game. I flew back to Philadelphia where I had my surgery to get cleared, and the guy looked at me and said, "We got to restart."
No.
So that was a big punch in the gut. So
what happened? Why'd you have to restart? Like what did they not do the surgery right? Did they do the surgery right and it just didn't heal the right way?
I don't want to say that they didn't do it right because the guy's the best in the world.
Okay.
It was one of those deals where I think we tried to get back at a certain time. We had this timeline, and unfortunately, I went back. I was kicking good. I felt like I was pretty close to being back, and then, there's still some pain involved. So I just figured it was going to be one of those deals I had to work through. And like I said, I went up there, and he was like, "Dude, how are you kicking right now?" And he's like, "Your adductor." Your adductor muscle is still completely off the bone.
I'm a beast. That's why I'm kicking right now.
Yeah, did you not feel like it was like, were you like, dude, something's wrong, but I guess I'll just kick through this?
Yeah, I knew there was some pain, but,
it's football.
Fuck it, we're writing it out. Let's go.
It's between our trainers, between the doctor and myself included, it was like, it's probably just scar tissue. We'll just work through it. So
that's tough.
Unfortunately, it was a lot more than that. So that was a big gut punch, and unfortunately, with all the IR rules in the NFL, there was just no way.
Right.
No way for me to come back. I probably could have made it back, week 13, but it was just kind of
save the season.
What was the point?
No, I'm with you. I get that. It's such a mentally, like, coming back from injury and rehabbing and then going through the setback, like, mentally, like, how did you kind of get through that, because everybody has their different ways of coping. I don't know if coping is the right word, but getting through those tough situations. Is there anything you did specifically? I don't know if I'm gonna mess this up. Are you recently engaged or recently married, right?
Yeah, we've been married for a year.
Yep.
We actually have a baby on the way, so it was a little bit of a
nice. Congratulations.
Now I know how you hurt your abductor.
That is, I'm not going to agree nor disagree. That was kind of like the silver lining to it was I get to spend time with my wife through this, really cool thing that we're going through together.
Right.
But man, I tell you what, I just found out that I was going to have surgery again. So that was a tough day, right? And I'm sitting there, my wife and I are laying in bed watching the Seattle Seahawks game. And the kid we signed hits a game winner like 3 hours. I find out I'm having to get surgery, and I threw the remote at the TV and turned it off. I was like, this is ridiculous. And so mentally, when you're laying there watching someone else do your job, and unfortunately, it's no secret, we went through 5 kickers, including me this year, and I think we missed 7 field goals. So it's like, I'm watching guys do my job at not the greatest level.
Right.
And it was just like, I just want to be back out there, and that's hard to deal with. So to say there was something that I leaned on is, I don't think there's. I mean, I just tried to kind of keep my head down, go to rehab, and
that's all you can do.
Really steer clear of the locker room, because like when you watch these guys, all we know is our locker room. You know how it is. That's our livelihood, is the locker room and the friendships we make. So, I tried to just kind of work to get back, and I'm finally at a point where I'm feeling close to 100%. So
yeah, when is it, like, when do you think you will be 100%?
I'm kicking again. We started kicking a couple weeks ago. So I mean, we definitely took this second surgery a little slower, just because we weren't trying to get back for anything. But we started kicking 2 or 3 weeks ago, and health-wise, I feel about 100%. It's just a matter of getting my strength back. I haven't been able to work out in 6 months. So it's like, I would say, probably about 90% strength-wise. I just got to –
There we go.
Kind of repetitions.
Yeah. That's good. That's good news. That's good news.
Wait. How does the diet go when you can't work out for 6 months? So you have to be real strict on what you eat, or you just go, all right, we're going to hit a full reset button here. Let's hit a full reset button.
Let's earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of – man, it was kind of like –
I mean, you're in New Orleans, like, you're in the food mecca right there, too. That's
exactly.
tough.
Are you walking hand in hand with Zion, or are you taking care of yourself?
Well, shoot, I'd be at his waist. But dude, I caught myself having beers during the game, like enjoying the life of
a fan.
Like I said, it's not fun, but it's like I'm gonna make the most out of it.
Absolutely.
So I watch the games with my buddies, and like you said, I'm gonna try to hit a reset button here now that I'm about 100% and just try to get back in it. So I'm not posting any pictures of how I look now. But
No, none of your wake surfing pictures.
no, none of those.
Good for the core.
Hey, speaking of core, I mean, hey, when you had was that your fiance at the time on your back like that, or you're holding her? That's some core strength right there.
That's I guess that's how I kind of build my core strength, right? Like,
there you go.
Add that to my regimen. I don't know.
Add it. That's a nice workout.
That's how you stumble into gym couple territory, dude. When you got you're at the end of LA Fitness with somebody around your neck, like, I guess this guy's trying to come back for the year. Here we go. Wil Lutz is back.
Hey,
clearly, I'm doing something wrong. So I got
debatable. But okay, so I have to ask you this: if you're stretching, and look, you can say I don't want to talk about this. I get it. But if you're stretching and a coach comes and kicks you in your kicking leg, are those fighting words or what?
Oh man, that's such a.
You don't have to say it. I know. For me, I would want to fight somebody.
An interesting situation. That's like. Look, I don't really know the guy involved in that. I highly doubt that it happened the way that it was explained.
That was my thought. There's no way that a professional coach kicked another professional in the inside part of his leg on his kicking leg. There's no way.
Yeah, I think from being in a locker room, there's so many things that are like kind of nonchalant. Like, how many times have you been kind of like punched in the shoulder as a joke?
Right.
It's like, come on, I don't know.
I'm with you.
Now look, if someone actually kicked me, that's one thing, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just find a lot of that hard to believe, but I'll leave it at that.
Speaking of locker room, so I think
you have to worry about Herb coming to get you, dude. I think he's done for.
Yeah, I'm gonna steer clear of Urban.
Yeah, I think Urban. I think everybody is. I think he's he's a little bit. Nobody wants to mess with that right now.
I would be more concerned about your wife than you, man. Herb's out there. You gotta watch it. Don't go to the chop house.
Speaking of the locker room, so I think it's been pretty well documented that the Saints, y'all have one of the better locker rooms in the league, right? Like, nothing really gets out. Everything's pretty in-house. You had Sean leading the way. You had Drew for a while. And you just feel like the chemistry in the locker room dynamic was so unbelievable, and that's a big reason for success. And I know Sean talked a little bit about it yesterday in his press conference. How was the locker room dynamic? Like, what made it so good? What did he do? What did the players do to make it that special?
Yeah, I think that is one reason Sean was like kind of okay with moving on. I just think he realized he kind of left this organization in our locker room in a good place. And so, you get leaders in the right positions. You have Drew Brees, who for 16 years, and Demario Davis stepped in, and he's the leader on the defensive side of the ball. And when you have that mix of young guys and older leaders, it creates this trust, I guess, in the locker room between the coaches and the players, and it allows the coaches just to kind of let us do our thing, right? Like, we joke around anytime a coach comes in, like, hey, this is a player's locker room, get out, right? And like, you just have that trust in a locker room when you have guys on each side of the ball that have been successful, who have led in the past, and the proof's on the field too. So we see these guys come in and kind of take control of the locker room. And man, I would say my rookie year was the last time we had a losing season. We went 7-9, and there was such a big difference. And then we kind of had a little bit of a changing of the guards that year, and we kind of overhauled the offense and defense, and things just changed, right? We bring in DeMario, and he kind of
he's a monster, dude. Love DeMario Davis.
Presence, dude. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm scared of him because he's a great teammate. Like,
no, I'm with you. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
I am scared of him.
Yeah, maybe I am. I don't know. But, yeah, you get these guys that you don't want to let down. Like, no one wants to let each other down in our locker room, and that starts with Mickey Loomis and these guys. They bring in these guys like with that character, and it's impressive. I mean, it's the only locker room I've been in, so I'm not really sure what it's like elsewhere, but it's cool to be a part of.
Play GM for a second. I know this is a dangerous thing, but so Sean obviously said he's stepping away. He didn't use the word retire, didn't use any of I'm not going to ever coach again, all of those types of things. Do you think that this, like, y'all would want to promote from within to try to keep that locker room chemistry there, or do you think that there's somebody out there that they can bring in that can seamlessly fit into that position to where the chemistry doesn't get messed up and the locker room culture doesn't go? Because you said a lot of that culture was built through the players, right? Like the players in there that they kind of built that. Like, do you think that's so strong that it doesn't matter who they bring in, that culture's staying there, or do you think they promote from within?
Yeah. Now let me emphasize, I know absolutely nothing when I say this.
Right. No, I get it.
I would say from that standpoint, it's been proven that our staff's been together for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's been proven that who we have in the building works. There's no doubt about that. I think we have great coordinators between Pete Carmichael, Dennis Allen, Darren Rizzi. It's just, we have such a good chemistry between the players and the coaches that I think that's good. They're going to obviously take a hard look at that. But at the same time, there's so many good young up and coming coaches around the league that, I think our organization is going to kind of have the pick of the litter. Right. So, I think a lot of players hope they stick with people in the building, but at the same time, that's not fair to say because, we don't know who's out there. Yeah. So I think that whoever we hire as a coach is going to inherit, like you said, an incredible locker room. So, they'll be lucky to have us just like we'll be lucky to have them.
I know you were rehabbing this year, so you actually got to watch NFL as a fan. The biggest highlight for me this year was Justin Tucker from 66 yards. Did you see that? And if someone were to ask you, Will, kick me 66 yards, what would your mind even be like? How do you even
block one extra second, boys? We can get those. Let me
yeah, absolutely. How do you be like, well, I'm going to kick as hard as I can, but then I lose my accuracy? Just like, how is that even fathomable that he kicked it 66 yards?
Look, what Tucker's done in the kicking game it's incredible. And what people forget that day is Matt Prater actually attempted a 68-yarder.
Oh my God!
That
Sebastian Janikowski's rolled over in his grave.
Yeah. So and he missed it by like 2 yards. So there was a chance to have the NFL record broken twice in one day when it's been that way. When it's been a record for I think 12 years. So it's like, what's more impressive about what Tucker did is that it was in the dome.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would say that there's maybe 2 or 3 other kickers who could get it 66 yards in a dome, and I'm not one of them. And if you
don't even try.
What is your length? Like, what is your longest you think you could? Like, you'd feel comfortable. Like, okay, I can get it from here.
I've hit a 63 in our dome.
Wow.
Hey, I take that.
That's a moon missile.
That's plenty of lag. I'll go with that.
If someone wants more than that, I'm not sure what I'm not sure what to tell them.
Hamstring you off your leg.
Trade me to Denver, maybe.
Tucker took an extra step on that kick. He kind of did like a kickoff almost.
Wow.
Because that's what they said about Buckner. Jay Feely was breaking it down, and they're like, well, he's going to have to kick a really long field goal. And then Jay Feely's like, well, that's what Tucker did is almost he did like an extra wind-up kick to it. Is that a common approach?
Yeah. That's something that, like, kickers are starting to work on these days after seeing that. So, look, if we were outside – and again, there was no other chance. The game was on the line. Someone needed a 66-yarder. I'm not going to tell my coach no.
I hope not. Yeah.
All right, how are we going to do this?
Coach, you know what? Actually, get someone else. I don't know if I can make 66. Like, do something else.
Run a draw.
Yeah.
Call Tommy Morstead up.
Run a quarterback draw and let's spike it. Make sure you get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you have a timeout.
Right. Okay. So this, and for me, like kicking. Like we play, I play baseball. Baseball is a very mentally exhausting sport. You fail, you don't get, you're supposed to succeed, but you're supposed to fail more times than you do, and you succeed. Kicking is, you succeed a lot more in kicking than you do in baseball, but it's a very, it's not an appreciated position because like you missed the kick and everybody's like, this guy stinks, but you could have made 30 straight kicks and you missed a big kick. How impressive is it what McPherson is doing to go? Being a kicker, you have to have this special self-confidence and this like.
It's like a closer.
Yeah, like you have to know like, hey, I'm going to get this shit done no matter what. How impressive is it to see what McPherson's doing as a rookie to go there and tell Joey, be like, hey, we're going to the AFC Championship game. Like, don't even worry about this shit. I'm making it, and he drills it. Doesn't even look at it, go through the goalpost. Because I know, as a hitter, I hit this ball. This ball's going to the fence. I can pimp it. As a kicker, you flushed it. You don't have to watch the ball. You know it's going through. Like how special is it to have that mindset that early?
Yeah. So if it's true that he said that, that's pretty badass.
That's sick, right? And like even if it's not true, he better go down to his grave saying, "Yeah, I said that shit."
Yeah, exactly. And like so, something we always say is like, if you're gonna make it in a professional sport, you got to have a little stank to you, right?
No doubt.
Usually, the nice guys don't make it.
Yep. And
you can be a nice guy and be a little bit of an asshole at the same time.
No doubt.
And I think if you don't have that, professional sports just isn't for you.
Yeah.
And so to see what Evan has done as a rookie, there's not many rookies who have done what he's done. So I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, that's how you get respect in the NFL. And so, but I think that confidence comes from he's been making kicks all year. It's not like he's just showing up in the playoffs, and no one has. Butker. You look at the guys who are in the playoffs. You got Butker. You got Robbie Gould, who's never missed in the playoffs, which is incredible.
What?
Granted, Chicago hasn't made it to the playoffs much.
Okay.
Right, but that's 20 for 20 or something crazy like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's incredible. So you see that these kickers are making an impact on the game, and the teams, it just shows that they play such a big part in making these playoff runs. And, unfortunately, some teams didn't make the playoff this year because of a missed field goal or something. So It's like, man, what the guys are doing in the playoffs, it's been so fun to watch. And I don't know, it's just nothing but respect to those guys, especially in the conditions they've been doing it in.
So you're telling me whenever you had that game winner against Houston a couple of years ago, you didn't walk off and being like, sorry, see you, D-Watt. I'm about to go win this game for you real quick on Monday Night Football, first game of the year.
So I didn't say anything, but it's actually kind of funny. Sean Payton yelled at me. He's like, hey, just have some fun. We go out there, and Morstead says something to me, and I was just like, hey, don't talk to me. He said something to me again, and I just winked at him as we were
I love that. Yeah.
I don't think that's as badass as saying that we're going to the AFC Championships, but
no, but that's sick though. That's a confidence.
I do try to have some fun. Like I try to do something memorable for every game winner. I tell Thomas, like, I think it was Carolina 2 years ago. I hit a 34-yarder against them to win the game, and Coach Payton came over to me. He was like, hey, is this the right hash? And I was like, hey, Coach, we're just going to go win the game. It's all good.
Yes.
The hash doesn't matter inside 40 yards. So it's like, I try to do something just to say, hey, you remember when I winked at you before that 58-yarder? Nothing too out there, just something between.
Yeah, I love that.
people.
What okay, so I'll let you go. I kept you for probably longer than you wanted to be here, but do you have a Sean Payton story? Do you have something that he did, said to somebody else, to you, or whatever that you want to say, that you can say on air?
You can
that
say whatever he wants now.
Because
SP's done.
you're reading on Twitter, all these guys coming out, Ben Watson and Kamara and all these guys saying, giving kind of like a small snippet of a story that happened. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah, one of the funniest things that I can remember is the day I signed here. It was very interesting. No one expected me to be signed here. We had I'm not going to name names, but we had a guy who was pretty good, but he was older, and I think the team was obviously in a rebuild mode. So Sean brings me in, he works me out, he signs me to the practice squad allegedly, right? Like they say, hey, we're going to sign you to the practice squad. Well, I never, they never submit the paperwork. That's basically just to buy some time. So
Right.
Every Monday before the season, we have a captain's dinner, which is where we elect the captains, and there's usually a lot of wine involved, a lot of very expensive wine.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we're actually at.
Where do y'all do it? What restaurants?
We were at Emerald's downtown.
Oh, boom!
Good. Nice.
So there's 53 guys plus the practice squad guys and the staff, and somehow I get stuck at a table with Sean Payton. All right, so
You're on your best behavior.
Kind of. At this time, I'm still on the practice squad,
Right.
technically.
Allegedly.
So the other kicker walks in, who's on the team, and he's sitting the chair behind me. So our chairs are back to back.
Oh no.
Very awkward.
Oh no.
Well, Sean's about 2 bottles of wine deep, and he's telling the story. And out of nowhere, he looks at me and he goes, I tell you what, this guy's going to be the kicker here for a long time. That was the best workout I'd ever seen.
Oh.
And the kicker behind me, it was the most awkward.
Oh no.
It just took the air out of the room, and I was just like, hey, thanks, coach. Thanks.
Well, he gave you a compliment. You're like, oh, this is the most confidence I got from my head coach. Has this much confidence.
I'm about to make an NFL
And then it goes,
roster.
it's like I can't be super happy because the guy behind me just lost his job.
Somebody died.
I can't be like, you're damn right, coach.
Yeah.
Like, I've been here for a long time.
Wow.
I haven't even made the team. And so, sure enough, the next morning they released the other guy. And it was funny. I texted my agent immediately when he said that. I was like, I think I just made the team.
That's freaking awesome, dude. That's like when you're trying and you're on the come up and you get that vote of confidence from your head coach. That goes a long
At
way.
Emerald's
Dude.
in New
It
Orleans.
goes a long way.
That's one you carry forever.
Yes, for sure. Dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for coming on here. Anytime you want to come on, come back. Be a regular on the show if you want.
Fun.
This is great. Look, we're going to do
Hold on, let's see. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at your Instagram here. And how did you get on the hook? Did you buy the boat?
What's that?
Did you buy the boat that I'm seeing on your Instagram page right now? Because it seems like you are getting used, my friend. Like every picture I see, I know some of these people. I know a Botrist. I know a Truman Van Veckhoven. Are they just setting you up for this boat all the time?
Yeah, that's my boat. Bo and Truman have become really good friends of mine.
I bet they have.
Will's got a boat?
No,
Truman's a special
I don't think I've
character.
ever invited them on my boat.
Yeah, of
I
course
think
not. Oh man.
So yeah,
Truman's he's a special character, that's for sure.
Well, I know you see him on the golf course too.
hey, the guy can whip a golf ball.
Ain't no doubt.
He'll tell you about it too.
Bo can, but Truman can.
Wait, did you get a hole in one recently, or was that Bo?
That was both of us.
Oh, he joined the club. He joined the club.
Yeah.
I'm not in that club. That was a taste sesh by you right there.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, you just want to let him know you
I have
have
no
one.
hole in ones. I have no hole in ones.
Oh,
But
oh.
I think Will has one, and I think Bo has one. I think Truman has one.
Oh,
That's
I
his
do
little
not
golf
have
crew.
one. Maybe on a different hole from the hole that I'm going after, maybe, but
Oh, I thought you were getting the little,
No.
that's a little sex story.
no. Dude, thank you so much. We're gonna do. We're actually probably in a week or so we'll have some video calls that make it a lot more fun. So maybe next time you're on here, we'll FaceTime you in and we'll get after it.
Yeah, I'd love to do it again.
All right, dude. Enjoy the off
All right,
season,
guys.
man. You
Appreciate
recover.
y'all.
Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself.
All right, man.
All right.